Yeah, like the hats from Futurama.
Yeah,
I'm
there
just
you
gonna float
go.
around.
Well, I could probably do that actually. Head in a jar, Futurama PNG. Let's see if we can do this really fast. If it's taking too long, then I'm not gonna waste time.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's probably, we'll see.
while I'm figuring this out, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh yeah, so my name's Sophie, and I've been actually playing Eve for like 2 years. This is not really my first time playing. Actually, I've been trying to get into Eve for quite a while, but this is actually the time that got me stuck. And I've been getting into a lot of different PvP content, and I just kind of thought that this really isn't enough. That this really isn't refined enough. So I also am running for CSM to get some changes into the game, I guess. Which is probably very hard this year. It's 56 people. It's gonna be a very, very big fight, I think. It's gonna be interesting to see who gets voted in this time, and that it was very interesting last year as well, though I would have loved a bit more variety, but I guess we'll see. But let's see what the people decide, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Um, what you say you've been playing the game for about 2 years. What have you been doing in those 2 years?
Yeah, so I initially started out as everyone in a station that got blown up, basically. So that's just how it goes in life. You get blown up and then you start doing things. So I get into a worm holding corp for the. Basically, I get into worm holding corp right as it started. So we kind of had to like figure things out. It was absolutely a blast. And yeah, I've been there for like more than a year, I think. We just did wormhole stuff, and like wormhole things, PvP, PV, huffing all the gas there is. And about like a year ago or something, I got back a bit into high sec to Eve rookies. I actually FC there. I run incursion fleets mainly, and a lot of other content sometimes. So that's really, as of now, I'm mostly just running those things, and most sometimes when I get the time, I haven't really been free as much as I would like to lately.
Cool. Being on the CSM, obviously you need to be in a like it's a pretty big position, pretty big shoes to fill. What has your experience as an FC taught you about just like what people are wanting in Eve? Because like I looked at your Eve forum post and Kashal said some pretty big things about you. What are some things? What are some things you are noticing that you would like to be changed in Eve if that's something that you're really interested and passionate about?
Oh yeah, so basically the first thing really about the CSM, for those that doesn't know, the CSM doesn't actually directly get to change things, so it's not like the CSM goes in and be like, hey, CCP, please, I don't know, we want a new ship. That's not really how it works, and that's not really what I'm trying to achieve here. My honest goal would be to get some tinier things out of the way that annoys everyone in their like everyday life. And on a bigger picture, I would also love to see rework to like advocate for certain changes that are not like a main big ass patch worthy, such as I think they could do some tiny rebalancing of like missioning, for example. Honestly, I've heard tiny bits that CCP is going for wormholes this time, like next time, or in the near future. I would love to be a part of that because wormholes haven't really received a expansion in just about ages at this point. And obviously, I would love to advocate for the new players' experience as well, because yeah, like 2 years is not a lot compared to what most of the people have been playing that are on the CSM or have been on CSM the last few years or are running. And I think this gives me a tiny bit of an edge just because of the new player experience, and I know how it feels. I also interact with a lot of new people, and well, you've probably been playing for a longer time as well, so we probably look at things a tiny bit different.
Hey slow community, thanks for rating the channel. We're interviewing Fluffy Neko today. What's if So like I'm also a wormholer. I live inside of a C5 wormhole. What have your experiences been like in inside of a wormhole? Like, are you like more lower class, higher class? What have you done in wormholes besides have your spaceship or your space station get blown up?
Yeah, so we originally started out in a C4, and well, technically we are still living in the C4. This is just a different one. So, obviously, as everybody starts out, you just put down one station, you live in one station, you have fun in one station, and then, hey, I need another one. And then I need another one. Uh, and then, obviously, as you get more stations, you get access to more features. So, we try to branch out into industry, making stuff, try to branch out into smaller scale PvP as well. With some luck, I guess. Not really lately. Not really lately. And also, we like to enjoy the little things that the wormhole gives us, like mining, halving gas, and all the null ecstatics that open up. It's nice that you can randomly go into a nullsec, get some miners, and then get some fewer strips. So I can definitely recommend everyone who likes like small just PvP thingies like your miners, get in a wormhole that has a nullsec static. Go in there, find some miners, fewer strips. That's like a win for everyone. Honestly, I think wormhole could be the most dynamic part of the game. There could be so much going on just because of all these random connections. One day you're gonna find nothing. The other day you might find like 300 other corps. You have a nice little like fight, and then everybody's happy at the end of the day. Nothing gets built up except some ships.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like wormhole Bushido and wormhole like camaraderie is a little bit different than maybe a low sec where everyone or null sec where people are sort of like fighting over the same things and everyone has so is everything's just so accessible when you're looking at like K space versus J space. Um, like if you were to try to advocate for some changes in wormhole space, what would be a change that you think would drive more people into wormhole space?
So I think the biggest changes probably would be some kind of balancing as well here and there, or like rework of some content. The PV part of wormholes has been the same again for ages. There isn't really anything new, I think, that would really bring the people in. The aspect of security is a lot different. Some people like the adventure of when your station blows up, your all of things goes out in the space. That's like just some more fun to it, I think, in certain times. Uh, but realistically, like how you get in, how you get out, it's all random. It gets annoying after a while. If there were some, there could be some changes on the ways how you can get in and how you get out, and like that could get some more people in. I think because I think a lot of people have issues with scanning. Looking at my corp, I've seen some people be just like sitting in station doing nothing, mainly because of having to scan, and obviously there is the community aspect to it. If you don't really have enough people in your corp, and there are a lot of wormholes, so the wormhole community is sadly very much shattered. Um, you're not really gonna have fun, are you?
Yeah, like with my group, like my C5 corp, one of the biggest gripes that people have right now is just getting stuff in and out of the wormhole, like bringing in new ships, taking out our blue loot, our gas, that sort of stuff. And it does grinds down some people, and some people are just like, I like the ease of K space, I like the accessibility of Jita or like my nullsec markets. Um, what I've heard from some people is like making more uh, statics, especially in like the high class wormholes, would probably make things a little bit more interesting or change things up to get people out there. Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea to increase the number of statics in all wormholes?
Well, honestly, you have to look at things multiple directions. So if they gave all things like one more statics, that would mean it would be easier to get in and get out, which is absolutely a win for you. You can get more content out. It is absolutely a loss for you because you can get killed easier. Another 2 mil static pops up. That's just a lot more ships that can come in. So it's always a double-edged sword, and honestly, it would be a pretty big rework of all the mechanics. I'm not entirely keen on the idea of uprooting what was and just like if you kind of think about it, that's like putting another gate in every system, and then everything is just more connected, easier to move around. But on the other hand, do we really need it?
No, I agree too. Yeah, like the nice thing about wormhole space is that you aren't connected to everybody, but you can be connected to a lot of different groups just with people rage rolling and stuff. So maybe adding more like statics to like all the wormholes probably isn't the right idea, but having but finding a way to decrease the tedium of bringing stuff in and out of wormholes might make wormhole space a little bit better for people to want to come in and try out the space. I remember like people saying that CCP never intended wormhole space to be as populated as it is, but sucks to suck. We're here. Let's make it a little
Space
bit
is
more
that
fun.
populated.
Yeah, cool.
If you look around, especially we do scan a lot sometimes. Mostly, I think what's populated is the C4s have the usual suspects. C5s kind of like empty most of the time. Sometimes you stumble into people who are very keen on killing you. C6s just exist most of the time. Below that, you get your usual industry cores in the C2s, C1s and C2s, and obviously you have the C3s for whoever else gets the C3s. It's not that it's populated. I think the bigger, like overarching image is how the systems are distributed. But again, if you have a lot of people, you're obviously going to have a lot of systems, don't you?
For sure. Would you want to ever change like mining in wormhole space? Like I know moons, like all my moons inside my in my high class wormhole all suck. They're all are four moons. Would you be wanting
Yes.
to sort of advocate for more industry stuff to be done in wormhole space, or should that be kept more to like K space?
Yes, please. Actually, I've been so everything we've been thinking about this for so much. Actually, so if you think about it, why wormholes got the R4s, which to me I guess comes down to the reason that wormholes are very easy to secure, and when you're secured, you can see who's like you see Bob's obviously you're gonna bolt and look and get all your shinies back into the station. But that's not really the reason. You go down to nullsec, you just put down your oracle, you get the cap umbrella, and then you're even more safe because they're just gonna bring in 50 redeemers and kill everything. Uh, and especially with the mineral rebalance, the wormhole ore prices have also dropped. So just taking away another income source. And just because something can be secured doesn't mean it is safe. Again, you're a wormhole, so you didn't know this. But like yeah, there should be a rebalance of the ore fields as well. I think there could introduce some new ones with a bit more fun because wormhole only gets the base minerals. Well, except that one side, but you only get the base minerals. Nosa gets all the shiny things. Why couldn't everything else also spawn in wormholes?
I completely agree. Yeah, I like I'm finding myself spending a little bit more time outside my wormhole than I would probably like, but it's just there's so much more out there than in wormhole space, and I think it'd be really fun if I don't know, we do get some sort of massive expansion and suddenly wormholes are now teaming with players like new players, old players, and it's just people want to try different things. And I think a really easy way to entice that is to have a multiple different things out there besides blue loots and like hacking or like scanning sites. Like I think that'd be like a pretty cool thing to bring into the wormhole space.
Yeah, well, I think blue kind of makes sense because by lore at least, we don't actually know where wormholes are. So having to hold out your things and not just be deposited in your wallet, in my opinion, kind of makes sense. Though again, for everything else, I think it could use a tiny bit of rework, but you kind of also have to don't say that wormholes aren't new bro friendly technically. There's just so many things, and you get thrown into the deep end of the pool very fast as soon as you actually try to safely get in and get out and just move about. You have to know how to use a cloak. You have to know what ships to bring. You have to get everything ready. You have to know when it is safe to do so. It's just very much complicated, and it doesn't mean it cannot be a good experience for everyone else as well, especially those that have a tiny bit of know-how, or it doesn't mean that newbers cannot get in, because obviously there are corporations that will happily take new people,
Yep.
train them up to be wormholers, train them up to be whatever, but it is inherently not newbro friendly that they just get thrown in, and that's really the reality.
Would you ever advocate for there being like a new player experience that is dedicated just to figure out like wormholes?
Well, I mean, we could have some tutorials. We could add certain parts about these things. We could have a lot of things added actually, because the current tutorial is also pretty lackluster. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely epic. That Astro, it's so iconic. Like, if you know one shape from EVE Online, that's gonna be the Astro.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the most iconic shapes. So
When I
I
started
think it's
playing
pretty cool.
Eve, the Astero was my first ship. I told myself I'm going to be the best Astero pilot in the game, and that definitely didn't happen. But it was my first goal.
Yeah, the Esther is a nice ship. So, but still, you finish the tutorial and that's it. You get thrown into a station and you are told to just, I don't know, do whatever. I mean, obviously it is a sandbox game. Doesn't mean there shouldn't be more content. For example, the CCP doesn't really do a wiki of the game. There isn't really a description, a guide, or whatever. Some people obviously agree with this, but when your only source is University, don't get me wrong, again, we're a beautiful site. I love University. They do a great job. But that's really our only source. And it can be sometimes out of date with some content, though again, CCP also isn't doing their best. I've had a corp mate, so there are the Cosmos missions.
Yep.
So the thing that gets you that very, very expensive implant, I think. So one of my corporates had an issue where as far as I remember, he couldn't take one of the things. He had the item in his inventory, and the quest just wouldn't accept it. So he wrote to the support, and all he got as an answer was, "Yeah, this is old content. Please, read up on EveUni how to do it." Man, you're the game's support. You should know it. And so in the end, he couldn't complete it, just because the quest wouldn't accept the item that was given to him. So
Yeah, that'd be very
again,
frustrating. Yeah.
but there could be some more tutorial. There could be some official guides and whatnot. I would really love that. It could also get some more people in, because obviously sandbox game, find your way, but it doesn't mean that the community just has to accept the status quo and go along with that. Hey, I have to figure everything out, document it, and make it available for everyone. Because after a while, it's gonna be that certain groups, only certain groups, know how to do X and Y, and they're gonna gatekeep it like hell. Think Watchmen. Like, you don't get to do the good sides there. It's just printing money. You don't have a knowledge. Like, if you go to Uni right now, it's not really gonna tell you how to run them.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Eve is nice because it does feel like a bit of a Pandora's, well, not Pandora's box, but like a puzzle box. Like you got to figure it out. When you figure it out, then you start specializing into whatever thing that you figure out that you feel best is running, and you run that you run that thing into the dirt, and then if you get bored with it, then you move on to like the next little puzzle. Like I feel like Eve is strongest when there are things to figure out. But like in order to get people to start wanting to figure things out, you sometimes do need like that finger pointing you in the right direction to get you started off with. So like you were talking about, like there's a whole bunch of mechanics of wormhole space that people like are really struggling with, rolling a wormhole, for example. Why would you even want to do that, or is that even a thing you can do? I had to watch a 2 hour long video when I was learning about wormhole space in order to make that into like a into so I can have like a bare basic understanding, and then I had to have people like hold my hands while I was going to do that. Like I like the social aspects of like having the older player base helping out the newer player base, but I could definitely see there being like gatekeeping for like the really good like ISK generators and stuff for sure. Um, moving on a little bit, being a fairly new player to Eve, you were talking about that most CSM members are quite a bit older, like in game. What are some things that you think would help you stand out from the other 56 people who are also running for CSM? What makes you special?
So, as I was saying, I mainly think that simply what puts me away from most of them is I'm pretty young in Eve, so I have a different view on the new players content, and obviously most of them don't really advocate for new players content because they already know what they like doing, and then they will do what they love doing. So I kind of want to appeal to the new players who aren't really feeling represented by all the people who are currently on, or most of the people who advocate for just this one part, just that one part. Obviously, we need the just this and just that part of the game. So obviously, I think in the balanced CSM we would have like 1 or 2 person for every part of the game. But I'm not deciding who gets who gets in and who doesn't. So yeah. But we don't really get that. So we get what we get. And because of this, I don't really have too much deep. I mean, obviously, I probably have a deeper into wormholes, but I have a general understanding of most of the systems. And when it gets to that, I think it's kind of better to have a general understanding of everything that's going on than to have one thing that you're very much into. Because if you have only one thing, you're gonna start seeing the whole system as connected to that one thing and not as a system.
Right.
Because then you're gonna be like, I do industry 99.9% of the time, for example. Then you're gonna be like, oh, to make this item, I need this or I need that thing. But you don't really see through that like what goes into that and that, because that's not really your thing. You aren't very interested in that. But I try to keep an open mind. I try to be interested in all parts of the game, and I see. I want to see everything as a whole. I want to see the game as a whole, and I think that's gonna that sets me apart from quite a lot of the older people, at least. And there are also a lot of people that are just running for 1 or 2 specific features, and I would love to run for a lot of the features to like try to give some opinion, try to get some people onto it, and especially the new people. The new people experience is really what gets people into the game.
Yeah.
We should improve on that.
Yeah, like having people on the CSM that are a little bit closer to being like a younger Eve player could definitely help out a lot with just bringing more people into the game, right? Like instead of like having the old hats, just like, hey, I want to focus on capital ships. A guy who's been playing the game for a year and a half, and probably has seen a capital ship maybe once or twice, unless you've joined like a nullsec block really quickly, and you got into like a couple big dread fights. Um, like it would be nice to have a couple of CSM members on that volley are a little bit more grounded to what the new player experience actually is like, which is something that maybe you can give, which is really cool.
Yeah, this would realistically be my idea, is to try to get the neuro experience up, and also the other small things that we've been played for since ages. Just to give an example of what I mean, so there are containers obviously at stations for those that don't know, and when you put things into them, you cannot construct stuff out of them. You cannot fit a ship from them. It's just annoying as hell. Also, unlock from the station and get blinded. Why can't we have a dark mode? You can really like disable those things. It's been like that for ages. I mean, obviously, it's more of a QoL feature, but why couldn't we have QoL updates? We have all these new ships, we have all these new things. Why can't we just have a QoL update that just updates the game? It's been the game's been running since like 2003. It could use a QoL update anyways.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like I know like there's been a couple of like small things, but it would be really nice to for sure just like have a couple of, like things that are going to keep like the new players around, or just make it a little bit more intuitive on how to do a couple of different things for sure. Um, you've been part of the Eve Rookies community. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience being part of the Eve Rookies community?
Yes, so the Iroquois community is a new bro friendly place. Basically, what we are trying to do is to let anyone join fleets experience that part of the game as well. Because being in a fleet, being like playing with others, is really what pushes the game through. So there aren't really too much solo content in the game, and there are a lot of people I think that are simply afraid to join public content, but we are trying to be that place that will take you regardless of where you're coming from, what you've been doing, how what you've been playing, and we're going to try to get you in a type of content. We're going to try to give you a content that includes at this point anything. So we are mainly an incursion group. That's our most abundant fleet, but we also get out doing mining with boosts, obviously. We also go out and do PvP fleets. Lately, we have also done some event fleets, get some people trying to run the event sites because they can also be pretty cryptic, especially for somebody who doesn't really know how the game functions already, because these event sites are pretty interesting. And it is basically no commitment needed, no nothing. You just show up to a fleet and fly it. We've had people from literally everywhere, and unless you're like a bad dude or something, you can obviously come. And we're just trying to get some new people staying in the game because communities. I think the most important thing that's keeping the players online and logging in day after day, because again, it's a sandbox game.
Yeah, for sure. Is there one big gripe or one thing that you would definitely want to have, that you would be like, you walk in through the doors of your Discord call or whatever the CSM uses, this is would be like one thing that you would want to change in your 1 year, one thing that you would hope to start the gears turning to be changed in order to make the new player experience better?
Yeah, so again, I would just love if CCP at least thought about, like, get them to think about updating things that are related to new people. Get a better tutorial or something. Because obviously, I ain't gonna change the world. Let's face that. I'm just one of many. But if I can get CCP to start thinking about getting an expansion out whatever time later that just focuses on the new player experience, or at least, you know, get some tiny things fixed, I'll be the happiest man on the earth because then I feel like I accomplished something. Again, it's probably not gonna happen right now because the game is probably planned out for like 1 or 2 years in advance, but if at least I could get CCP to start thinking and put some more effort into fixing the QA stuff, and if not just the big expansion or anything, but just like get some things in, get
For
to hear the community, get to hear the voice of the new people as well, which is
That's
I feel kind of missing because most of the CSM is like people who've been playing for long, playing those content, like capitals, as you said. Capitals are a pretty big investment. I don't think. I mean, obviously that also needs work, but like you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like, even for me, like, I haven't been playing the game for 10, 20 years. I've only been playing the game for like 5 years. But like now I'm in a position where I'm okay losing a dread a month. But for somebody who's a year, 2 years in, just like that one dread could be a week of grinding esque and low sec, high sec, wherever. So yeah, it is nice to have people on the who are CSM candidates who are a little bit more grounded for sure. Um, if there are three things you would like people at home to know about you that would make you better than the other CSM candidates, what are some three important things that you would like to share with the people at home?
So my main thing is I'm not aligned with the blogs. I'm not aligned with any big groups. So I'm gonna be impartial when it comes to saying that this should be changed, that should be changed. So I will not advocate for whatever, I don't know, big low sec, big null sec, or big whatever ones. because obviously that's just gonna push the water towards their wheels. I will try to get the game as a whole thing fixed. That's I think the first and probably the most important I could say. So I also think I like to get a good mix of all the content in the game. So in a general side of things, I think I have a good understanding of all the content and how they are connected. And I would like to bring this into CCP obviously. So that's the second thing. And I'm also not really afraid to just go to X and Y. People ask them, hey, how does this work? How does that work? And I'll happily bug anyone. I'll go to I don't know whoever, get them to tell me how that works, so we can get that fixed, get that helped. I like to work with people. I like to work with new people as well, and I'm not really I'm happy to help anyone at any time. People are gonna be able to reach out to me, and we're gonna get stuff fixed. If not, we're gonna write that down, get more people onto the issue, get their what they say, and bring a big pack of like this many people like would like this changed, and that really has some power. It's not just one person says to like I don't know take away a high slot from this ship because it's too OP. No, it's like but if like a lot of people start saying that hey this ship is too OP, in that case I think it would be worth bringing up, and that takes some effort to get there.
Awesome. Great. I'm glad to hear it, dude. Yeah, it sounds like you have like a good head on your shoulders. You're willing to fight for the average person, and like obviously like you don't have the CSM works. Like you're not gonna go in there day one and like CCP's going like, oh my god, you're all powerful. I won't bow down to you. But like it's from what I've heard from some CSM members, it's like you start like a legacy project, and then a year or two later, it's like, oh hey, I did that one thing. So like you said, maybe even though you are just one person, you are elected by the people, and the people's voice does matter quite a bit. So if you do get elected, maybe you will be that person who does some like pretty big changes, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and as I said before, for those that don't really know, the CSM doesn't directly get to say that, hey, this is gonna be the next big expansion. That's not the CSM's work. It's more like advisors, and but like CCP takes in their ideas,
Yeah.
incorporates it into things, and down the line it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. Obviously, there are certain changes that are tied to certain CSM members, but they are probably very much under NDA, and they cannot really talk about that. So we don't really get to know who said that this needs to be there and that needs to be there. I
I
think
know.
that could be something though.
I interviewed Kashal yesterday, and I asked her a question. She's like, "Tell me and ask me that in 2 years. I'll let you know." Stupid
Now, she's
NDAs.
been in the CSM, so yeah, she kind of knows. She actually has had some things related to incursions change, so
Oh, awesome.
she could talk about that. So she actually gets stuff done, but you
Dude,
don't really get to know why this and that happened. Maybe
yeah.
that could be a thing. Maybe that would help them, but I guess it probably wouldn't be the best for elections. That you only see is like one name we changed 300 things, and then you look at it and yeah, this rope now has plus one ore in it, that Varrock has plus one ore in it, and it's very hard to gauge the worth of a change for those that don't do the content.
Mhm.
Like if you look at Kashal's big thing, that was that she got CCP to kind of change how incursions function. There's been an issue that so there's a big site at the end. If you do that, that ends the incursion, like the focus at that time. What people would do is people would just go and kill it as soon as it spawned because they had some beef with one of the groups, and they would just box a lot of things and just ended it every single time as soon as it spawned. So well, I guess Shaw was the big thing, but probably not just her. So now they get to change it that there's actually a few days before the site spawns. So now it cannot be that on like day one it spawned. But for the person in Nullsec, who's just flying his capitals, breathing in Nullsec, and just some PvP, he doesn't know what incursions are. He doesn't know how much this actually meant for the community versus getting another type of rock in Nullsec.
Yeah.
It's hard to gauge
Yeah,
things.
it is, especially if you're so detached and you're living in your, I guess, your golden palace, I suppose. Right on. Cool. I don't know if it's almost midnight for me, so I think might need to peace out here moment pretty soon. Is there any final words you'd like to tell the people at home about why they should vote for you?
Yeah, we can do a closing statement and then I'll let you go. Yeah, obviously, yeah, for you it's night. For me, it's pretty much morning, so we are not in the same time zone. But obviously, you need to reach out to everyone, and I'm very thankful to you for that. I haven't really found too many people around like at this time zone, like US and whatnot. So, well, first of all, thank you for that, and for those that are taking a voting for me. So, I think why you should vote for me is very simple. Because I want the Uber experience to live. I want the Uber experience to be alive. You know, it wasn't really alive before. So I want the Uber experience to be better. Because if you don't get new people into the game doesn't have new people. The people are still leaving, people coming back. The balance between that is what keeps the game alive. If you don't do anything about the balance, the game is gonna die. So you want somebody in the CSM that cares about the Nuber experience, that cares about the little things. Because in the grand scheme of things, the Nuber experience is also pretty small. Obviously, there's 10 billion other content in the game, but this is one of the most important things, and most people don't really look into it. But I will look into it. I will talk to all the new people. I already am talking with a lot of new people. Get what they think, get that into the game as well. If you've been playing for long, this will probably not affect you too much. But in the long run, it will make the game a better place because more people are gonna come and you're gonna get more people to shoot. That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's what
That's a good thing.
that's what I tell people too. Is like I want more people in space for me to a help, and because I like being like a little bit of a leader, but I need more people in space to go shoot. Um, and if we don't
Yeah.
cater to the new player experience a little bit more heavily, maybe in the next couple updates, then we might lose them to Roblox. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, and again, if you don't vote for me because you don't like me, you don't like what I stand for, you don't like that I'm young, at least please get in, find somebody else who's been here longer. For example, Shaw, but there are others as well. If you don't like her for whatever reason, get somebody who's advocating for new player experience, please. Just add them somewhere on your ballot. You can get 10 people, just add them somewhere, have someone who's advocating for the new player experience. You will want this. There are so many games coming out. There are so many games in the world. You want people to play you specifically because you need more people. And that's it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on, Fluffy. I really appreciate you waking up super early to come and hang out with me. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you had a fun time and have fun, fly safe.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Take care. Yeah, no, that was good. I agree with Fluffy. We definitely need some more like new bro friendly people on the CSM. Like it's very I love Rots. I love Ross. I love like Duke. I love like all the people. I love all the people who are like I want like the established players to be taken care of. But in order for Eve to keep on being Eve, we need to somehow drive new players into Eve, and we really do need to have a very catered, new bro friendly CSM member. And I maybe Fluffy is that person, even though he hasn't been in the game that long. Having somebody who's a little bit closer to that end of the spectrum might be something that might be actually pretty good.